We are deep in the kindergarten trenches. Little AI is lurking in the bushes like a spec ops agent, stalking her prey. I mean, her crush. She is calculating the optimal angle of attack. She marches right up to Takun and drops the hammer, a handwritten marriage application. This girl is not playing games. She is locking it down before recess is even over. She is hyperventilating, waiting for the answer. You can practically taste the anxiety. The tension here is thicker than the sandbox mud, but reality hits like a truck. Suddenly, she is throwing a full-blown tantrum because her parents are moving away. The dad is just standing there, looking at her like she is speaking alien, completely missing the plot. She waves the paper in their faces. She is trying to explain that a crayon contract is legally binding in the court of love. You cannot just break a pinky promise like that. She screams that she has to be with him forever, but it is no use. The darkness swallows her whole, leaving only her heartbroken whimpers. Talk about a brutal way to start the day. The nightmare ends. AI snaps awake, clutching her head like she just took a critical hit. It is that same dream again. It just won't let her go. She thinks, seriously, can a girl get 5 minutes of peace? She tries to reset, hugging her bear and whispering Takun like a love-struck teenager. Suddenly, Yuki kicks down the door. 0 stealth points. She screams, clutching the blanket. She thinks, does privacy not exist in this house? She demands a warrant, or at least a knock. Time to lock in. Meet Fuyuumi Ai. She is in the kitchen, combining tofu and mushrooms like a pro chemist. Today is the big debut at Hane no Yama High, and presentation is everything. She tells herself, if this lunch looks bad, my social life is over before it starts. Breakfast is a battlefield. She scolds Yuki for inhaling his food, but her mind is elsewhere. She presses her dad for the timeline. He confirms they are stuck here for 3 years. She takes a quiet victory lap. That is plenty of time. She thinks, perfect, 3 years is enough to run this town. But the peace does not last. Yuki asks the forbidden question, who is Takun? She nearly spits out her drink. The kid heard everything. Dad's eyes narrow behind the lenses. He smells a boyfriend. Ai panics, stammers an excuse, and tactically retreats before the interrogation begins. She thinks, abort mission. Get out now. One last stop. She kneels before the family altar. She tells her mom she is taking over the legacy at her old high school. She asks for some spectral backup to keep her pure and proper image intact. Request sent. She heads out. She prays, Mom, please do not let my crazy side leak out today. She stands under the falling cherry blossoms, channeling full main character energy. She whispers a desperate plea to the universe, begging to be spoiled again and reunited with her precious Takun. But inside her head, the gears are turning. She knows peace was never an option. Welcome to Hane no Yama High. She ignores the NPC students at the gate and beelines for the real power center, the Office of Moral Discipline. President Ishige is already inside, holding court like a mob boss. The tension in the room is thick enough to cut with a knife. Ishige drops the corporate sales pitch. She claims this committee is the Ivy League of high school clubs. Join up and your future is set. But then she pauses, letting the silence hang there. There is always a catch. She calls out the fakes immediately. She scans the room, knowing half these girls are just here for the clout and the college recommendations. So she hits them with the fine print. You are all temporary hires. She dangles the official armband like it is the Infinity Gauntlet. Only the worthy get the gear. She declares herself the supreme judge of their fate. AI shouts aloud, yes, I playing the part of the loyal soldier. But internally, she is definitely planning a hostile takeover. Ai scans the roster like she is decoding the Matrix, desperate for a lifeline. She is stranded in Group 3 with 0 allies, which is basically social self-delete. She was betting the house on finding Takun, but he is ghosting the list. Inside, she is spiraling, thinking, great, now I have to actually make new friends. Suddenly, a wild Kaoru appears. It is the classic elementary school reunion arc. You know the drill. Awkward finger guns and pretending you have not changed a bit. They keep it moving, agreeing to bury that secret 6 feet under. Kaoru is chasing that student council clout, but AI? She is locked in on the moral committee like a heat-seeking missile. She wants to be the OG enforcer just like her mom. But freeze frame, look at the doorway. Someone is watching, lurking like a villain in the opening credits. Kaoru is hyping up Ai's prosecutor dreams when they almost collide with the main character energy. Ada clocks Kaoru instantly. Small world, or just a really small budget for background characters. Kaoru reveals he is in their class and Ai's internal operating system crashes. Blue screen of death. Look at that face. That is pure, unfiltered panic. Her hand is vibrating like a controller during a boss fight. She stammers out the question, terrified to confirm if the legend is real or if she is just hallucinating from stress. She confirms the ID and screams victory. She is treating a lucky coincidence like it is divine intervention. Calm down, girl, it is just a seating chart. She thanks her mom for the miracle, and Aita hits her with the dry roast. He reminds her that he definitely did not give birth to her. Facts. Ai tries to perform a factory reset and introduce herself, terrified he has deleted her file from his memory. But she is too slow. Chiwa launches an aerial assault out of nowhere. She tackles Ada with zero regard for public decency. That is a red card in most sports. She complains about the class split, ignoring the fact they are neighbors. Ai is left staring, totally confused. She calls him Takun. The new girl calls him Akun. Ladies and gentlemen, the jealousy wars have begun. Ada strolls in looking for some milk, but the vibe in the room is absolutely rancid. Ai is slumped over the table, radiating pure depression energy like she just got sent to the lobby in a ranked match. The tension is so thick you would need a chainsaw to cut through it. She completely ignores the milk request and drops the scariest question known to man. She looks up with the eyes of a killer and asks, "Who is that girl?" Kaoru identifies the threat as Chiwa, but Ai only hears one thing, the nickname, Ikun. That is a territorial violation. She is practically foaming at the mouth, ready to throw hands over the audacity. The lore checks out though. Chiwa has the childhood friend buff equipped, knowing him since first grade. That is heavy competition. We are talking about a bond forged in the fires of elementary school, but Ai refuses to take the loss. She slams her desk so hard the wood groans, screaming that she has known him since kindergarten. Seniority rules apply, and she is absolutely not folding on this matchmaking war. Ai camps the school gate like a sniper, scanning the perimeter for enemy combatants. No Chihuahua in sight, so the path to the target is wide open. She enters stealth mode, tracking him from the bushes. He is multitasking, walking and reading at the same time. Total nerd behavior. She realizes he is actually trying to learn. This is her golden ticket. She decides to hit him with the study partner strategy to close the distance. They lock in for a private session. She tries to act casual, but look at her face. Her heart rate is already redlining. Then he drops the bomb. He asks her to translate "I love you." That is not a question, that is a direct attack on her sanity. He leans in close and the tension snaps. In her head, she launches forward and plants a massive kiss right on his lips. But in reality, she just screams too soon and freaks out about premarital sins. Total system failure. Bro is just confused. She runs off giggling, leaving him wondering what just happened. Mission failed successfully. Ai is walking, but her operating system is buffering. She is stumbling down the street, replaying that kiss in ultra-high-definition 4K resolution. She steps into the road like an NPC with bad pathfinding. The truck driver slams the brakes, tires screeching. Aita freezes, watching the physics engine glitch out. Ai is literally giggling at a daydream while the truck comes to send her to the lobby. Ada's reflexes kick in. He doesn't just move, he teleports. He lunges forward, snatches her arm, and yanks her out of the hitbox a single millisecond before impact. Gravity takes over. They hit the pavement hard, tangling limbs in a heap of adrenaline and sweat. But the moment she realizes she isn't game ended, her priority shifts. She thinks this near-death experience is actually a romantic cutscene. Girl, focus on the road rash, not the romance. She tries to thank him, but Aita is fighting a boss battle against his own eyes. He looks away, desperately signaling for her to check her equipment slots. She looks down. The skirt has clipped through reality, full culture on display. Her soul instantly disconnects from the server. Panic takes the wheel. She collapses back onto him and accuses the man who just saved her life of inspecting the goods. The audacity is actually impressive. She scrambles up, trips over her own shame, and tactical sprints away, leaving Ada wondering why he even bothers saving NPCs. But the cringe isn't over. The moral committee president was camping in the shadows the whole time, and she looks ready to drop the banhammer. The Fuyuumi dinner table has a gaping hole where Ai is supposed to be sitting. Her sister tries to call her down, but gets absolutely shut down. Behind her locked door, Ai is spiraling, writing down her regrets in 4K resolution. She is analyzing every single mistake. She buries her face in the pillow and screams into the void. The memory of accidentally flashing her culture to her first love, Kiru Eita, is playing on repeat in her brain. It is a highlight reel of shame. A realization hits her like a semi-truck. She freezes. She runs the numbers. She definitely was not wearing that specific set of culture today. The math is not mathing. Something is wrong with the data. She rewinds to the incident. She tripped, and Eita did not just catch her, he locked her in an ankle breaker hold. It was a tactical takedown disguised as a save.
He drops the hammer.
I won't let you run, you lewd girl. Then he escalates to DEFCON 1. Just offer yourself to me. The audacity is off the charts. He is playing 4D chess while she is playing checkers. At tries to mount a defense, but her brain is too busy simping over his face card to put up a fight. She is legally blind to the danger because he is just too handsome. In the infirmary, Eita goes for the inspection. He lifts the skirt like he is checking under the hood of a car. He asks if the location is the issue, completely ignoring personal space laws. Ai folds under pressure. She admits she only wants Takun to see the goods. Big mistake. Eita takes that as a binding verbal contract and lunges. Ai is deep in REM sleep, dreaming of a culture planetarium. Her family is just trying to enjoy their meal while she hallucinates loudly through the wall. It is a cringe fest for everyone involved. She consults her mom's photo for a morale boost. After a solid cry session, she locks in. Mission objective: make Eita remember their history, no matter how much cringe it takes. She is ready to go to war for love. The next day hits and Eita is locked in. He is grinding XP in the library because studying is the only way to escape this reality. He figures if he ignores the world hard enough, it might just go away. Ai steps up to the plate. She calculates the optimal angle for a vibe reset and drops a polite "thank you." It is a tactical peace offering. But Chiwa breaches the perimeter. No knock, just pure noise. She kicks the door down, metaphorically speaking. She demands his math book, but Eita calls the bluff instantly. He runs the numbers in his head and realizes there is a 0% chance she studied. She definitely packed manga instead. The disrespect continues. After school, Chiwa initiates a kidnapping protocol. She physically drags him away right in front of the NPCs. Ai is left in the dust. You can practically taste the salt in the air. She is standing there buffering while they escape. Fast forward to the cafeteria war zone. The smell of mystery meat and desperation fills the air. Ai launches a tactical lunch invite. She aims for a direct hit on Eita's schedule. Blocked. Chiwa intercepts the pass with zero shame. She comes out of nowhere like a lag spike. She clings to him, begging for his roast pork like a starving animal. Meanwhile, Ai radiates pure villain energy from behind. She is plotting a game ender right now. Kaoru walks straight into the crossfire trying to be nice. Poor Kaoru has no idea she just stepped on a landmine. Ai snaps. She starts screaming about a chihuahua. Very subtle. She is losing her composure faster than a noob in a ranked match. She corners Kaoru and starts the interrogation. She needs to know the connection to the target immediately. Kaoru drops the lore. They go back to middle school. It is a deep backstory. Ai realizes she is outgunned and needs backup. She runs a simulation in her head and thinks about confessing her strategy. Kaoru is ready to assist. The alliance is on the table. But the cringe is too strong. Ai panics and shuts it down. Classic fumble. She snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Ai thinks she is safe. Wrong. The universe hands her a summons to the moral disciplinary room. Her internal alarm bells start ringing. This is not a drill. The room is colder than a freezer. The president skips the pleasantries. She reveals they have been watching Ai in 4K resolution for days. Every pixel tracked.
Here comes the hammer drop.
They accuse her of stalking a first-year boy. Straight up criminal allegations. Ai wonders if prison food is decent. Ai's soul leaves her body. She starts buffering. She screams it is a misunderstanding while scanning the room for backup. No allies in sight. There is no escape. A knock at the door. The alleged victim walks in. Kido Eita, the final boss of this social nightmare. The president goes for the fatality. She asks Ada right in front of her if he feels threatened by this stalker. The tension is thick enough to cut with a spoon. Ai's brain officially disconnects. She calculates the bad ending. High school life, deleted. Romance, sent to the lobby. She is witnessing her own social funeral in real time.
Eita.
He is not snitching. He looks the president dead in the eye. He plays the Uno reverse card. He drops the ultimate cover story. He claims she is just his old friend from the past. AI turns into a tomato instantly. Her face is hotter than the sun. The committee squad tries to push back. They claim they saw her creeping. Ida shuts it down with max charisma, like he is smooth with it. He claims she just had something important to tell him. He passes the ball to Ai. She has to play along or get sent to the lobby. The president realizes she has been outplayed. She stares them down. Defeat tastes bitter. She commands her minions to stand down. The interrogation turns into a synchronized group apology. Crisis averted. Ai breathes for the first time in 10 minutes. The walk home was dead silent. The adrenaline crash hit them both hard, leaving nothing but the sound of shoes scraping against pavement. Ada's brain was running a mile a minute, trying to figure out if he just ruined his life. Ada decided to rip the band-aid off. He looked her dead in the eye and admitted he lied back there. No 4D chess, no master plan, he just made it up on the spot to save his skin. I wasn't buying the humble act for a second. She stared him down, searching for the glitch in his logic. Why would he stick his neck out for a total stranger? The math didn't add up. He stopped and gave it to her straight. Forget the politics. He did it because she looked absolutely terrified. In that moment, her face screamed that her whole world was ending, and he couldn't just stand there. He knew that look. It was the face of someone watching their dreams get deleted in real time. He had seen that exact expression before, staring back at him from a hospital bed. He dropped the ultimate protagonist line. He simply couldn't ignore someone in pain. Simple as that. And just like that, AI's defenses crumbled like a cheap cookie. She hit him with the nostalgia card. She told him he hadn't changed a bit, still the same kind soul she remembered. Ada froze. His brain blue screened trying to process the compliment. Her heart started beating like a techno track, setting the stage for a massive lore reveal. But just as she opened her mouth, Chiwa launched herself at Eita like a heat-seeking missile. Talk about a mood killer. Chiwa turned a dramatic confession into a debate about dinner plans and buying snacks. AI got completely sidelined, relegated to NPC status instantly. You could literally see the rage building in her eyes. She was 1 second away from choosing violence and sending Chiwa to the lobby. June rolls around and the summer uniforms come out, but for Fuyuumi, this is not a fashion show. It is strictly business. She slaps on that moral disciplinary armband like she is gearing up for a raid boss, ready to carry the crushing weight of her mother's legacy. She rallies the troops immediately, putting Nagai on point and Fukudome on the flank. She slides that door open with absolute main character energy, declaring the afternoon patrol officially live. They stomp through the corridor with the kind of authority that makes you check your own inventory. The student body parts ways instantly just to avoid the splash damage. Whispers start flying. The NPCs know she is a rookie, but her methods are absolutely savage. Of course, that does not stop the simps in the hallway from commenting on the visuals. She locks onto a target like a heat-seeking missile. Top button undone? Disgusting. She barks a correction, and the kid practically apologizes for his entire existence. Cleanup complete. AI sets the next waypoint to Kun's class. The squad looks terrified when she says the name, but they march straight for year 1, class 1. As she stomps down the stairs, the NPC gossip mill goes into overdrive. They see a ruthless enforcer, praising her ability to bully upperclassmen without flinching. But inside her head, that Iron Maiden facade crumbles instantly. She is hyperventilating, blushing hard enough to cook an egg. Just imagining the glorious reunion with her precious Takun. She grips the handle and rips the door open. She steps in, ready to claim her territory, but her radar immediately pings a massive threat standing right in her face. A silver-haired goddess drifts past her like she is invisible. Masuzu Natsukawa hits her with a polite, "Excuse me," and the sheer aura difference forces Ai to step aside like a servant. Masuzu does not even need to turn around to flex. She reads AI's mind, casually dropping the intel that Kido is gone before she can even ask. That is a power move. She walks off, dragging a magnetic field of simps behind her. The hallway erupts in worship for the silver-haired queen, leaving AI standing there, completely outplayed. Ai is trying to reboot her brain after that mental flashbang. The hallway is loud, everyone is whispering about the silver-haired transfer student, but she engages her emotional noise-canceling headphones. She mutters to herself, she has one mission, find Takun. She needs to secure the target before the competition steals him. Her social battery is at 1%. She admits she needs a recharge of Takun energy immediately, but the man himself just walked into a boss battle without saving. Chiwa is waiting for him. She locks onto him with the intensity of a predator drone. Kidu physically recoils. He is sweating bullets. She marches him down the hall with pure silent pressure. Ai spots this public disaster from a mile away. She calculates the cringe factor and refuses to let the scene drag on. She does not ask nicely. She grabs Chiwa by the ankle and drags her into the nearest classroom like she is taking out the trash. The door slams shut. A single bracelet hits the floor. That is a successful abduction. Inside the interrogation room, Chiwa is slumped over in total defeat. The reason is simple. Kidu roasted her. He told her she is 10 years too early for romance. That is a critical hit to the ego. So she announces her revenge arc. She plans to become the most popular girl in school just to spite him. She demonstrates her secret weapon, the upward glancing doggy eyes. Ai takes one look and ruthlessly deletes that idea. It is absolute trash. But AI shifts gears. She stops playing nice. She starts digging for intel. She asks exactly how deep Chiwa's relationship with Kidu actually goes. Chiwa takes the bait and dumps the entire backstory. First grade buddies, shared dinners, private tutoring sessions. She lists so many couple activities that she overloads her own brain. She crashes to the floor from pure excitement. AI has to catch her before she completely blue screens. Ai helps her up, but she is actually gathering ammo. She attacks the childhood nickname Ekun, calling it childish. Chiwa defends her territory. AI backs off externally, but inside her head, she is screaming. She is furious because she knows she met him first, but reality hits different. She watches them celebrate a terrifying statistic. 11 years in the same class. It is a literal world record of coincidence. AI stands there in silence. She realizes she is not just fighting a rival. She is fighting a decade of history. Ai suddenly kills the vibe, asking if he is sick of her face after 10 years together. He denies it instantly, but you can practically hear the gears grinding in his head. A truly terrible idea just spawned in his brain, and he is about to let it win. He decides that if the face is boring, he will just inspect the culture downstairs. He dives for the skirt like a man possessed, but she shuts down the planetarium mode before he can get a single pixel of a peek. Access denied, buddy. She recoils like she just touched a live wire. The sheer audacity of this man is overloading her CPU, and she does not have the RAM to process this level of shamelessness. He does not let up, snagging her in a grapple that is technically a crime but legally just anime comedy. She starts screaming nonsense about kaleidoscopes and belly buttons, desperately trying to protect her virtue from his wandering hands. That move was super effective. She freezes up completely, eyes spinning and face burning hot enough to melt steel beams. We are talking a total system crash, blue screen of death included. She tries to laugh off the sensory overload, calling him a massive pervert just to claw back a tiny bit of control. It fails hard. She starts babbling nonsense about her belly button melting, and her face goes nuclear red. Eita tries to execute a tactical retreat while he is ahead, but she shuts him down cold. You are not going anywhere. Ai switches modes instantly. It is strictly official business now. She slams down a mandatory after-school meeting order. Her excuse? She claims she needs to personally monitor his behavior. Yeah, likely story. She is just tightening the leash. She puffs up her chest, trying to radiate pure intimidation. But Eita? He is not buying what she is selling. He analyzes the micro expressions and realizes the truth. This is not a meeting, it is a trap. He is walking straight into the lion's den, and he knows it. Then Masuzu decides to just drop the tactical nuke right in the middle of the room. She looks them dead in the eye and asks if they have a secret history, Ai reacts like she just touched a live wire. Her soul nearly leaves her body. And cue the full tsundere meltdown. She starts flailing, screaming at the top of her lungs that she definitely, absolutely 100% is not using this as an excuse to hang out with him. Oh sure, Ai, we believe you. Totally. It is the dead of night, but Ai is wide awake and obsessing over her next move. She needs him to remember the deep lore, specifically that she is the legendary Ai-chan from the star class back in kindergarten. She marches down the hall and grabs the door handle. It is time for the nuclear option. She plans to use the school equipment to summon Takun and force a confession out of him. Zero hesitation, total chaos. Panic levels are critical. She realizes Taku has absolutely zero memory of their kindergarten lore. If she wants to unlock the childhood friend route, she has to drop the name bomb right now. Her classmates are hyping her up like she is walking out to a UFC main event. Get in there and secure the bag, AI. She slams the door open and takes the high ground. Literally. She hops onto a desk, sweating bullets with the eyes of every NPC in the room glued to her. Maximum cringe potential achieved. Ada squares up, feeling the sweat prickle on his neck like he is about to defuse a bomb. He spots Masuzu by the window, and you can practically taste the spice in the air. He is running the calculations in his head, knowing one wrong move sends him straight to the lobby. Masuzu taps her lip, stalling for time like a laggy server. Eita leans in, voice firm, cutting through the noise. He needs clarity right now, because if he lets this slide, the rumors are going to snowball into an avalanche that buries his social life. Suddenly, a voice calls her name, and she stiffens up like a board, the blush deepening on her cheeks. That little flicker of private courage she had, gone. Because this situation just went public, and there is no undo button. Chiwa storms in, eyes ballooning as her jealousy meter spikes off the charts. She clocks the two of them together and immediately throws a mental penalty flag on the play. You can see the gears turning as she prepares to unleash chaos. Masuzu gathers herself, fingers curling tight near her chest. She decides to commit to the bit anyway, voice trembling as the words buffer in her throat. She knows this is a critical hit or a total miss. She finally fires the payload, admitting she likes him. Oh, Ada freezes, his entire world tilting on its axis. Chiwa sits up, whispering, "What?" like her brain just encountered a fatal error. The audacity is off the charts. You can practically hear the other shoe dropping in the background. This confession didn't just break the ice, it lit a fuse that is going to blow their entire universe sky high. Big feelings mean even bigger fallout is coming. If you want to see how this train wreck ends, make sure to comment confession below.